Hello and welcome back to this new video of mine. I got my cinnamon latte over here. Yes, actually cappuccino, but who cares. My little fall mug. This is one of my favorite videos to film. I'm so excited. We're gonna be reading for a little bit here on this channel this time. I want to read fall books with you guys. I have a few already at home. I just ordered some more. I'm foaming at the mouth for some actual good cozy romances. And we're gonna go fall shopping hopefully, and gonna go to the bookstore I was thinking, and we're gonna drink lots and lots and lots of coffee. I'm thrilled if you cannot tell. I am ready. I was on a little walk today. I think I already showed you the sequence, and I was listening to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I'm like 6% into it or something now. Very, very cute. Like, it's giving, with the town meetings and everything, Gilmore Girls. Obsessed. It's third person POV, so a lot of these books actually have third person POV, which I do not love. I just feel like the Pumpkin Spice Cafe is one of the most popular books out there that are about fall. Like, you see them in every bookstore, and I think these are the most famous like seasonal books actually. Like Pumpkin Spice Cafe and the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore and this stuff. I didn't pick it up before because I felt like it was really surface level, and right now I just want something that's very cute and just Gilmore Girls vibes and not too much brain power reading. So basically what I learned now in the first few percent is that she, like the main character, I forgot her name right now, she's taking over the Pumpkin Spice Cafe from her aunt, so she needs to run it now. She moves to a small town, and then there's this produce guy, I think, who's supplying her with fresh food and with fresh pumpkins and all that type of stuff. So I was really giving Gilmore Girls, but as if Lorelai would be with Jackson now. Let's not talk about that. That would be very, very weird. So it's cute as of right now. I don't know how it's going to continue. Of course, I'm going to keep you posted. So this is what I'm reading as an audiobook right now, what I'm listening to. I have two books at home. First is You Again. I started reading that last year, actually with you guys. I like came to almost page 30. I couldn't really get into it. I don't know, the writing style was not for me, the characters were not for me at that point. So I really hope that this year, oh, there's a hair in there. I really hope that this year I'm gonna get around to reading it. I recently saw Destiny Sidwell. She also made like a fall video. She was reading this one and she said it's not really fall seasoned, which is weird to me. Like, sorry, but like, why make the cover like that? That's very misleading. So I hope that it's still gonna be up my alley. It's supposed to be inspired by When Harry Met Sally, and that just all rhymed. Wow, big brain power. I'm curious about it. I just hope that I'm gonna love this. Like, we're gonna see. I'm not gonna pressure myself into loving this because I already tried and I didn't get into it. So we're just gonna see where this goes. And then last year I also ordered A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. Sounded cute to me. Sounded cute. I don't know what it's about, to be honest. Something with soul bargain and that like they're fake dating now. Osroth is his name. Oh, that's weird. But Ellie Hazelwood has a blurb on the back that says, whimsically sexy, charmingly romantic, and magically hilarious. This book put a spell on me. Well, I put a spell on you and now you're mine, huh? Yeah, I'm just curious. I hope we're gonna get around to reading this one. I ordered some books as well, so we need to talk about those. And I have one on my Kindle as well. That one I started 2 days ago and I wasn't fully in it, to be honest. Like, I wasn't fully hooked. It's called The Cinnamon Spice Inn. Love is the sweetest spice of all. True. Recently started that one and it also just came out a few days ago. But the thing for me with that one is the writing style was good, but it was also third person POV and we were jumping. Like, within the first chapter, from topic to topic to topic, it was like info dumping like there's no tomorrow, and I was like, where are we right now? Like, we're jumping and what is going on? So it felt very not cohesive in a way, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I had to get used to that. Let's see if we're gonna pick that one back up. But as you can see, we've got plenty of options, and I also have 2 more audiobooks that I still want to listen to with you guys as well. We're not gonna read all of them. Like, sorry, I don't want to get your hopes up, but I'm just saying what we're dealing with these days, you know? Like, Pumpkin Spice Cafe is for sure gonna be read. And then I also have The Hex Appeal. Love that title. The premise of this also sounded super interesting. It's giving Gilmore Girls, Hocus Pocus, and Charmed. Yes, I'm here. You know, I'm here. 3 of my favorite things. I'm excited to read some fall books with you guys and finally to be back with a reading vlog. It's been ages. Fall is the right time to do so, I feel like. So let's get right into it. just at TK Maxx and there wasn't anything really intriguing to me, to be honest. Like nothing that I needed or where I was like, that's it, I want that. Besides 2 books, because for some reason I always find great books at TK Maxx. I don't have any clue why. Now someone is parking right next to me. That's very uncomfortable. So the first book I found was The Perfect Marriage. Here you can see it, and it was $5.99, which I think is a great price. It's also the US edition, so it's super floppy. I love that. And I've had this on my radar for a very long time. Like, I heard that it's pretty good, and I'm not really into thrillers, but this one is more like a mystery type of thriller, mystery suspense or something like that. Psychological suspense. So yeah, let's see. I'm very excited. And then the second book I found, which super happy about that, is Taming 7. I'm currently reading Saving 6, so I need to get Saving and Redeeming 6, but this one was $7.99 and usually you don't get it for that price. So I was like, if I see my chance, and I love that series so far, I love these characters, so I was like, I'm gonna get it, you know, like it just makes sense. And I was not only at TK Maxx but also at another store, and I think this is also gonna be in today's video. Yeah, I bought a Lego set. I usually don't do that anymore, but here we are. I got a Lego set now. So I found the Orchid. I like that one a lot actually, and I think this is gonna look super cute on my bookshelf or just in general for decor. And I've been craving to do some Legos and listen to an audiobook. So yeah, we're gonna have a cozy fun time in this video, I can tell already. So yeah, no fall stuff, but cute things regardless. Let's go home and let's read. Okay, I cannot wait to get to Legoing. I don't know if that's a word. But I also just got a package in the mail today. Yeah, I think I've done enough shopping for this month, and the month just started. But let's unpack together. Why is this so difficult? Let's see. Oh, you can't see what it is. This spells love. Oh, it's so floppy. Oh my gosh, I love this. You see this? Oh, that makes me happy. Okay, I haven't had one of these super floppy books in a very, very long time. I'm very excited about that. So this is actually not as long. It has like 320 pages, so I think you can read this within a day if you would want to. And this sounds super interesting. Like, this is why I also got it. A young woman tries to heal her heartbreak by casting a spell to erase her ex from her past, but wakes up in an alternate reality in which she's lost more than she wished for in this witty, whimsical friends to lovers debut. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the friends to lovers trope, but I think... So she gets dumped by her long-term boyfriend and they used to be friends. So I'm really curious because I think they never even were friends then in that alternate reality. So I'm really, really interested in this. I think it has potential. It looks so cute. Oh. Yeah, perfect fall read, right? I think we're definitely gonna pick this one up now in this video. That's what I wanted to say. But I'm really excited now to get to Lego. Okay, I was looking for the right angle so that you don't see too much of our living room actually. But yeah, I got my coffee. I made a maple cinnamon oat latte. Sounds more fancy than it was to make. I have not built Legos in like forever, like since I was 12. This is a very meditative experience, not gonna lie. Look, I cannot even open this. This is how it starts, you know? Hello. Okay, there we go. We don't need that. Oh, this seems like a lot of work. Like now I look at it and it gives me a headache. This is a very meditative experience. Cute. Okay, so this one we don't need right now. So we're gonna start with the first package. And I'm gonna start the audiobook now.
Flash of a song she used to sing. And then suddenly changed their mind.
This is the progress I made so far. It's turning out really cute. I'm actually really proud of it. I'm also, let me check how far I am, 24% into the pumpkin spice cafe. The very interesting and fun part about this is that she thinks that the house she lives in, that the cafe, that some place there is haunted, and he thinks there's a natural explanation for this, so they're trying to figure out if it's haunted or not. They have very cute scenes, like whenever they're talking, and like it just feels like Gilmore Girls. Like it's amazing. Gonna be honest, I don't feel like I'm gonna deeply care about these characters. I don't feel like I'm gonna remember this story all too much, but it's cute, you know, and the cover is cute, and everything about it is just exactly what you need during fall time, if that makes sense. And also A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, I also really enjoy. I love the humor in this. The writing style is so good. I don't think I'm gonna be rooting for the demon, like the male main character. I don't think he's gonna be swoon worthy, but we don't know yet. We're gonna see. They're both completely different, like not comparable at all, but both super cute and cozy. Exactly what I'm here for, you know? I'm super proud about how this looks. I am just contemplating bedazzling it, but I'm gonna keep it like that for now, and then we're gonna see. I think it would be really nice bedazzled though. We will see. But this was fun actually. This took me like 50 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that, but it was fun. I love it. I listened to the audiobook at 2 times speed almost, so now I am 39% in, and my opinion has not really changed. I gotta say I'm not fully hooked on it, so I think it's gonna be like 3.5 stars as of right now, but it can change. So I just finished the audiobook of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, like just now, a second ago. I am glad it's over. If you hear any noise, it's my dog running around. This book, I don't even know what to say. Like, I was super excited for it. Also that the pen name of the author, I think it's a pen name, right? Like, it's probably not her real name, but that the pen name of the author is Laurie Gilmore. If it's her real name, super cool. My dog agrees. I just feel like it was so rushed, everything. There was a mystery aspect to it that I told you about already, but I didn't feel like this mystery aspect was necessarily a mystery. Later on it also got resolved fairly quickly, like very easily. At least everything was just resolved like this. The third act breakup, I saw it coming from miles away and I was like, I don't care. And I honestly did not care about the characters. Jeffrey, I also in general felt like it was not an in-depth book. Like, it was giving the vibes it was supposed to, but it's not something where I'm like, I'm gonna be rereading this. And I was thinking about picking it up because I love the cover so much, but I actually think I'm gonna save myself the money, you know? Like, I don't know. Like, it was not a slow burn book, so just be aware of that. There was insta love like that, which is fine in certain circumstances, but I didn't feel a connection to the characters and therefore also not between them necessarily. So that was a bit of a difficult thing to manage, you know? As I said, like, there was just no angst to it, no passion necessarily. Like, I didn't feel like the sparks flying between them. I didn't feel like there was any stakes. Like, the stakes were zero. That guy just needs therapy. That's my take on this. And I'm gonna rate this 2.5 stars because of the vibes. Like, Vibes are immaculate. It is a perfect fall book, but it's just not something that I would necessarily recommend to you. Like, let's see if we're gonna find different books in this video that are gonna be more fitting for this season. If not, this is still a solid book, but don't expect like a 5-star. That's just not what it is. So yeah, just wanted to get that out there. And I'm still reading A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, which there the humor is way more up my alley. Like, this is way more just what I like to read. Yeah, I'm gonna keep you posted later on. I went into the city with a friend today, and I'm starting to get a bit annoyed at my lack of self-control. Or self-control. Yeah, non-existent at this point. I bought 2 more books, and I thought I would show them to you. Great, right? Isn't it? First up, we have Phantasma. Super excited about that because I've been wanting... Do you see this? They misprinted this a little, like the white. I didn't see that when I bought it, but okay, it's fine. I started reading this a few months ago on my Kindle. Was completely obsessed with it, but I was like, it's a spooky season book, you know? So I saved myself the joy of reading this, and I want to read it either this month or in October. We will see when, but this is gonna be in a video. I know that for sure. I had some cash left over, and girl math, if it's paid in cash, then it's actually not real money. Annoying, I know. But I think they started making like the smaller paperback of When the Moon Hatched, because I think the cover is slightly different than what I remember. And it was actually a really decent price, like it wasn't too expensive. And I was like, I want to get that one. Here we are, you know, 2 books later again. But I just feel like this sounds so good. And I saw that Laura, I forgot what her channel is called, but Laura, some people here on YouTube and also on TikTok know her. She loves this book. She has multiple copies of this. And I was like, I'm just a girl, you know? And when I hear that she's an assassin on the run and he's a dragon rider who will stop at nothing to save her, together they will burn it all down, that sounds so up my alley. Like, don't even get me started, you know? Like, I had to. There was no other way around it. It's about 500 pages. Pages? What? Which is less than I thought it would be, but the font is tiny. So that's that. Excited about both of them. What can I say? What can I say? I'm just a girl, but I think I should go on a book buying ban now. I am really starting to get annoyed at myself. I'm starting to get an icky feeling. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, if you can relate, but at one point he agrees. If I buy too much, sometimes I'm just like, why? Yeah, I think my fall obsession is getting a bit out of hand. Okay, let's get back to reading. Sorry for yapping your ears off. I just want to quickly film a check-in. That's why I look like this. And that's also the reason why I'm filming from my phone. I've been listening to, not the X-Hex, Hexapio. I'm like 34% in, and I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue what it's about. They are 3 sisters that are witches, which kind of fun, but also don't really care. Then there's this guy that moved from America to the UK, and these witchy sisters have a house that no one can remember or find, but somehow he can, of course. And he's also the landlord, and they don't pay him rent. And then something shattered, like a glass orb that's like a witchy thing or something, and now they're a bit in trouble, I think. I don't know. I think I'm gonna DNF. Like, usually I don't DNF audiobooks, but at this point I'm just like, not for me, you know? I think after 34%, I could wait it out and see. I mean, I still have 6 hours left in the audiobook, but I just don't want to. I don't know, guys. Like, if you've read it, please let me know in the comments down below if it's worth it to continue. But as of right now, I'm just not in the mood, you know? So I think we're just gonna skip that one. Sorry, guys. Writing style is good. Writing style is fine. Nothing extraordinarily bad, but also nothing extraordinarily great. Let's put it that way. Yeah. I'm neutral about it. Same space, same place again. A few days later, I think I told you that I DNF'd the witchy book. And then yesterday, on a whim, I picked up This Spells Love. Obsessed. Loving this. I would say it took me about 100 pages, like 90 pages, to really get into the story, to really get into the characters. Now I'm on page 140, so like 40% in. It's super nice, super good, because it feels like a love letter to the universe, basically. Like, we have a few references to manifesting in here, but in general it's because we live in this, or like we experience this dual timeline where if she would have made one choice differently, she ends up in this new, different, altered reality. She had a very hard breakup, the character in here, and she wanted to forget all about her ex. So she was like, I'm gonna do a spell with my aunt, as if I've never met him. Yeah, that didn't turn out so well because she also ends up losing her best friend. And her best friend and her, actually, they have very good chemistry. As you can see, this is the best friend. There were a lot of possibilities that could have happened with them in this timeline. But since she never got to meet the other person, her whole life suddenly shifted and she wakes up in this new altered reality. And I think it's super interesting. Like, we have a lot of universe references in the sense of, like, we talk about the stars and the cosmos. I really love it. This is a debut novel and I find this very, very impressive writing style wise. There's one particular thing that I did not like. Around page 90, I also made a note on it, is a change in narration suddenly, because it's first person POV, which I love. Personally, that makes it easier for me. But then suddenly we have a narrator come in and that narrator suddenly makes a comment. And I'm like, but who is the narrator? Because it's her, right? Like, it's our main character. So I'm super confused by that. I think that got me a bit out of the reading flow, out of the story in that moment. It's fine, like, if it doesn't happen again, you know? I just feel like there was a lot of creative liberty that was being taken there, and that's fine. But then make it cohesive. Like, get the narrator back on and not just at page 90 suddenly we have a different narrator, you know? Yeah, that's the only mark I have. And for the rest, I'm gonna continue reading this today. Gonna update you later, but this is really good so far. Really, really good. I hope the lighting is okay. I don't know, because it looks very, very bright on that side. I was just wanting to be comfy, so I was like, I'm gonna sit in my chair. Can you see me better now? It's a work in progress, whatever. So this spells love. I finished that last night. I was able to read it within 2 days. I think if you would actually log in, you could read this within a day, that's for sure. Rated this 4 stars. I really, really like this. There were moments, as I already told you, that I wasn't fully hooked on it, or where I was also like felt a bit dragged out at some points. I also made notes, so let me quickly check those. Oh, I had a moment where I thought maybe this is gonna be a 4.5 because I just loved the universe references, and in general I didn't mind the main character. I think there were a lot of good plots in this book and a lot of things that were being discussed that are important to talk about. But then suddenly, towards the end of this, their very wholesome and genuine connections started to feel like something that was solely based on sex. I don't know, it was in the last 50 to 60 pages, it was addressed so much, and we had very explicit scenes where I was like, I don't really mind them, but I also don't really care. To be honest, like, this is not a smutty book to me. Like, this is not a book where I want a sex scene, you know? Like, I don't need it. And then she described his thing as glorious, and she was imagining it wrapped in a bow like a Christmas present. That was weird to me. That was weird to me. Why would you? No. And later it was described that it was the size of a Coca-Cola can that was in his pants and you could see it bulge. And I was like, oh my gosh. They did not feel like 28-year-olds to me, you know? Like, that was... Can you pick up what I'm putting down here? So that was not necessarily for me. In itself, not a bad book, not at all. It was a debut novel, and we need to also take that into account. Like, this was a perfect debut in itself. Like, it wasn't a 5-star, but for the fact that it's the first book this woman ever wrote, impressive. I'm dropping my hat. 4 stars because as I said, I loved a lot of things about this. It did feel a bit dragged out towards the end. The aunt in this I loved, but also she was feeling a bit woo-woo. Like witchy, hocus pocus vibes. But then we didn't elaborate on that either. I feel like the main character, she definitely understood when she was being a little bitch. So I think that's also a very good thing that there was a lot of character development in this. As I said, like towards the end, it just felt very lusty instead of actually the genuine connection that I was expecting. I still can recommend this to you. I don't know necessarily if it's for me like a specific fall book. I feel like this book you can read any time of the year, to be honest, because we didn't get like the falling leaves and stuff. We had donuts and we had coffee and we had witchy stuff, so that was nice. Consider this as your fall TBR. It's really, really good. And then I also wanted to unpack this with you guys because I think this is gonna be the next book that we're gonna be reading in this video. I've been waiting to open this because I was like, I'm not gonna open this before I have not finished This Spells Love. And this is my reward, you know? Like, I'm able to start this and to unpack this now that I finished This Spells Love. This is a new release. I've seen a few people talk about it already, and I'm not hating it. Like, I'm not hating the reviews so far. They seem very decent and very good. Advertisement. Don't need that. Okay, so the book Whoa. I don't have my glasses on, but this is gorgeous. Even I without my glasses can see that. If it makes you happy, is the next book we're gonna be reading in this video. This is thick. Oh my gosh. Well, I was not expecting that, but the font is pretty big. So, oh, and it's floppy. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm excited for this. Wow. Look at this cover, guys. This is giving Lorelai and Luke and their dog. And you see the gazebo? Wow. And there's even this little cafe, like Luke's Diner. This is the perfect fall cover. Ooh, oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna love this. Get comfy with this cozy slow burn romance set in the autumnal glow of 1997 small town Vermont. Oh, we got trigger warnings in here. Descriptive sex scenes, explicit language, death of a parent from a heart attack, grieving of a loved one, parental abandonment and estrangement, divorce, cheating, off page, not main characters. Oh, okay. We even have a playlist. That is cute. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Well, someone is calling me, so I need to pick up the phone, but excited for this. It's fall, guys. It's fall, and I'm ready. I just took a very needed, very long bath, hence why I look like this. It's fine. We're here for the books, we're not here for perfect hair or whatever, or no smudge mascara, you know? Little update. This is so good, so good. I'm eating it up. I feel like I'm taking my time with this one, to be honest. I'm like 150 pages, 170 pages in right now. Annotating a little bit. I don't know if you can see, but here I tabbed so that I can finish it within the next few days. Like I sectioned it off so that I actually know how many pages I need to read in order to finish it before I go back to my boyfriend. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that, but if that doesn't work, that's also just what it is, because I don't want to rush this book. It's 500 pages, but it's 500 pages of fall goodness. I'm vibing. And there is not a ton of plot. Like we have this single dad and we have Michelle who moves to this small town. This is Gilmore Girls but in a book form. Like from the vibes, you know? Not with the characters, but the vibes are vibing. Very, very character driven. So just so you know, even though I have not finished it yet, I can tell you that I'm recommending it to you. So this is my little update. I'm gonna fix this situation. Gonna continue reading and then I'm gonna update you once I know more. Like once there's stuff happening. Good morning. I have a big update. I just have a few pages left and if it makes you happy, I'm currently listening to the audiobook. I was not listening anymore to the actual... I was not reading the actual book anymore, but the audiobook is really, really good. So that's my update 1. And 2, I did also finish the audiobook for you again in the past few days. So there's a whole review on both coming in a short second. I got thoughts, especially about you again. That was something. I did finish You Again and I didn't update any of you because honestly I hated this. I could not get through it for the life of me. Even the audiobook, for me personally, was something where I had troubles getting through it, and that usually is not the case. 2.5 stars, and I feel like that's already generous. So this is like When Harry Met Sally inspired, and to be honest, I did not really feel that. It was just this friends to lovers dynamic, but both characters were not really sympathetic, especially your female main character. I liked that she was bisexual, so that was like a new representation in a romance book, I feel like. But besides that, she was so insufferable, and the conflict that they had was so immature, or something that I would expect from maybe 18-19-year-olds, but not from adults. And she just had such strong commitment issues, and he was also just a bit arrogant and unlikable. I feel like there were so many moments in this where I was like, how are you matching? How is that working? And there were so many sex jokes in here, and personally I like a bit of dirty humor. I don't mind it at all, but in here it just felt like 5th graders were joking around, you know? And the worst thing for me is she's a comedian, or she wants to be a comedian. And based on this book, I was like, okay, I don't want to bash the author too much, but I really felt like if this is what she brings on a stage as a stand-up comedian, if these are the jokes she's bringing, then I'm not surprised that her career isn't working out, you know? Because there was... I think I maybe laughed once, and the intent of this was to be a funny rom-com. So it didn't hit for me the way I thought it would. For me, the only thing that sealed it ultimately, like put the nail in the coffin that this was not going to be a 3-star, was the epilogue. And if you don't want to have any spoilers, please skip this. For everyone who's still here right now, yeah, she proposed to him, fine. She proposed to him in a sex shop with a cock ring as a ring. That was too much for me. That was like, okay, we reached too high levels of immaturity in this, and you should not get married is all I'm saying to this. So not what I expected, not what I was hoping for. Very quick review on this because I just don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm really done with this. And it's not really fall either. Like it was, I don't even know what this was. It wasn't giving fall vibes, that's for sure. It was just making me upset and angry, and it was rage baiting me actually. That's what it was. Yeah. So cannot recommend. I'm sorry guys, I really am. But yeah, if you have any other When Harry Met Sally recommendations, let me know in the comments down below, because I do love that movie and I do wanna read more books inspired by this, but this one was not it. Unfortunately. I'm really sorry. Yeah, I think her writing style was fine, her writing style was good, so it has nothing to do with that. It's just the character development and the development of the story which felt immature to me. So nothing against the writing of the author. The plot and the devices that were used were just what really bothered me in this. I just finished If It Makes You Happy. This is one of the cutest epilogues I've ever read. That was so cute. Very creative, not anything I've ever heard before, like, or read before. That was really well done. Yeah. It's still worth it to read the epilogue. Some people might cringe out a little bit, just saying, but I found it very fun and interesting. So yeah, but I'm gonna give you my full update and my full on thoughts now. Here we are at last. I finished If It Makes You Happy. Had to check the title for a moment there. And we also with that finished this video. This took a long time. Like, I started this in September. Now it's end of October. Not what I expected what would happen, but hey. In between, I just needed a little bit more high stakes book. I feel like it was cute to read those, and in the beginning of the video I was really in the mood for them. But then at one point it also got a tiny bit repetitive. First we're going to talk about my thoughts on this one, and then we will move on to the rest. This one is just giving all the fall vibes, as the cover can already tell you. So this is definitely better than You Again, but that's also not really hard to do. I did really enjoy this. We follow here Michelle, and she moves to this small town because she takes over the inn from her mom. The prologue in here I absolutely adored and loved. I feel like that was one of the best prologues I've ever read because it was so concise and we were immediately in the story and we knew what was gonna happen, so the groundwork was laid out perfectly, and we had met a lot of important characters already in the prologue, so it was very well crafted in that instance. I loved the writing style, was really well done. The vibes were immaculate. Loved the characters. They're so cute because then Michelle moves there and her next door neighbor is a single dad, and he's also a baker, which actually plays a big role in this, which I did not think it would, so that was giving even more fall vibes, and I love that. We have a lot of family dynamics played out in here, a lot of found family. I loved the two kids he has. They were so amazing. Also the small town was very well portrayed. It was really giving Gilmore Girls. The way they were all watching out for one another, it was amazing, and the character growth of Michelle in this is also amazing. So overall very good book. However, the main problem I had with this is also why it took me so long to get through and why I never even filmed like really reading updates. I just feel like it was too long. I would sometimes sit down and I would enjoy it, and I would enjoy sitting down and reading it. It was cozy, but it didn't grab my attention. You know, everything was very low stakes, everything was in one line, so I did not feel like I needed to continue reading, and I kind of forced myself sometimes to do so. So then when I listened to the audiobook, that was way better for me, simply because it allowed me to like still do other things but be in the story, and I think that helps me sometimes, you know, if the stories are a little bit more slow paced or like very character driven. No, not character driven, that's wrong. If the stories are a bit slower paced, then I have a hard time sitting down and reading them. That's just personal. Let's say Magnolia Parks. Not a lot of stuff is happening in Magnolia Parks, but it's so character driven that I love to just analyze the dynamics between all of them, so that will take me longer to get through, but because I literally annotate the crap out of it. Here it was character driven, the dynamics were a bit loosely knitted, it was very low stakes, everything. There was one scene in this with the teenage daughter that kind of got my interest. I think it was like 70% in. It was like a little jump scare and I think that also like made it a bit more intriguing again, you know, wrapped it up a little bit nicely. I feel like Michelle sometimes made decisions that I just could not really understand or grasp. It's not that big of a spoiler. So for example, she set him up, the neighbor that she likes, she set him up to have a date with her sister, and I'm like, that's just weird to me, because at that point she already knew she liked him, so it was like more a plot device, you know, and something to keep the tension going or like to accelerate the tension. Personally, I could not relate to it in any way, shape or form, and I was like, if that would be my situation that I'm in, I don't think I would want to put someone someone on a date, especially not my sister. I feel like that creates a weird dynamic. Especially, I was thinking, imagine they marry later. At the wedding, everyone knows that at one point he had a date with the sister. I just feel like that's weird. So I could not understand that. I could not relate to that, to be fair. But overall, very well done. It's a very good book. I can highly recommend this to you for fall. I think this is actually the best fall book we've read in this video. I'm gonna rate this 4 stars. I really knocked it down by 1 star simply because of the pacing. The pacing felt off to me, but it was cozy, it was cute, and it was fall in a book. It was amazing. So yeah, I can highly recommend, as I already said. Little wrap up at this point. We did read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Severe disappointment. 2.75 stars, I think I rated this. Then we read Hex Appeal. Yeah, DNF. Also not for me. We started, so also soft DNF, A Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. That one was fine. It was just not up my alley. I didn't feel interested in the story in that moment. It felt a little bit too low stakes and it felt a little bit too childish almost. I felt like I was reading about a garden fairy or something, and then she accidentally summons a demon, but the demon that's supposed to be so scary and dangerous is actually just a chill dude who probably smokes weed in his free time. That's what it felt like. So I was not really having that either at the moment. What else did we read? Then You Again. Severe disappointment. 2.5 stars. We can knock it down to 2 actually. Oh yeah, then we read This Spells Love. That was 4 stars. That was also really decent. Like, not really fall vibes, but nice. It was good. Solid book. And then we read If It Makes You Happy, which was also 4 stars. I'm gonna say like these were both not super strong 4 stars. I'm not gonna think about these books all the damn time. 4 stars is super solid. I can recommend it to you. I'm just probably not gonna reread it again. That was actually a very long reading vlog and also very disappointing. I don't think I've had a reading vlog this bad in a very long time. Nonetheless, this is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed and thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful and blissful day and I'm gonna see you next week. Bye!